First of all, we're real excited about being this far. We're not satisfied with it. We want to keep going. It's been a long time since we've been in the semifinal at UNA, and a real long time since we've been in the national championship game. Seems like the memory seems like yesterday because that's how important it is. But when you look at it, that it's been 21 years, and to be in that game, then that's a long time. And that's what we're playing for this weekend. Shepherd's got an outstanding football team. They wouldn't be here if they didn't. They're undefeated. Got some great players, some players that are going to give us real matchup problems. A wide receiver that's 6'4", 241 pounds, and is really an unbelievable receiver. Probably see him playing on Sundays next year. Quarterback, was Harlan Hill Trophy finalist. Defensively, they've got some people that really be physical with you and get after you, and a really strong defensive front that pressured the quarterback for Cal all day long last Saturday. And so we've got to protect Jacob and give him time to get the ball to our great receivers. And defensively, we've got to find a way to slow the receiver down. Most games he's going to have around 9 catches for 100 and something yards and couple of touchdowns. I mean, he's just a dominant force. I think first two games he had 90-something yards. Then in the middle of the season, he had one game where he had 40-something yards and another game where he was below that. But every other game's well over 100 yards or well over. Of course, obviously he has over 1,000 yards for the year, well over 1,000. So, it's just some challenges in there that we've got to meet. We've got to go on the road, which is, this team hasn't really been on the road much. 2 of our games, I think we've been on the road 4 times, and 2 of them were day games. Jacksonville State, we spent the night out, but West Alabama went there and came back. So, it'd be kind of it's not new, but it's something that a little different. But it's exciting because of what it is, going to a different part of the country, getting to fly, and having a great opportunity to advance forward. So we're excited about it.
Any questions?
With it being that first kind of really true road game, especially in the playoffs, are you worried at all about how the guys are going to react to just kind of the newness of that?
Well, we're leaving Thursday, so that's, a little different also. But the game's at 11 o'clock our time, and that's, I don't want to leave Friday and have any issues and get there late and then be in a rush with an 11 o'clock kickoff. I mean, pregame meals at 7 in the morning. So, we need to get there and get settled. We need to go to the stadium. I don't think it's going to be one of our better venues that we've ever played in, with the dressing rooms very small. And we've already talked to some people. The taping has to be outside. The visitor coaches are up on top of the press box, and not very high from what I've understood, so they don't have as good a view of the field as normal. So we need to get adjusted to all those things, and so that will be different. And but once the game's kicked off, it's football, and it's what these guys do on the field between the whistles that'll make a difference whether we go to Kansas City or not.
Also, a team that, first 2 playoff rounds, teams you're really familiar with playing. Kind of a team, you don't have as much experience with. Is that just come with a little more film study and this week? Or?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, because you're not as familiar with them. I mean, you have to look at them more. I didn't even know they had this great receiver until I started looking at film. And because they are in a different part of the country. That's the thing about Division II. That's why I've always said the coaches poll in Division II really is a non-factor to me, because I have never seen Northwest Missouri State play. So how would I know how good they are? All I know is they don't ever lose. I don't know how good the people they play are. They don't know how good we are. They don't know how good the people we played are. So how do you, it's not like Division I where you see them on TV all the time, and they get the national news and publicity that goes along with that. So it is interesting to play a team from another part of the country, and it will be for them too. But we studied the film quite a bit, and our coaches do a great job. Jeff mentioned the regional deal, Coach of the Year award. I mean, that's all my assistant coaches. I mean, and the players. I mean, that's what makes those kind of things happen. And I've got a great staff, and they've done a great job game planning all year long. So, and they didn't even eat lunch today. You know, they were still in the meeting room when I left. You know, they've been there since this morning, and because we don't meet as a staff, well, we do on Tuesdays for a little while, but they met all day yesterday, you know, Sunday. So I mean, we'll be prepared.
So if you don't see this team much, then what was your first reaction when you saw them on film?
The first reaction was, you know, I was very impressed with the receiver to start with and the quarterback. The more I watched them, the more their running game came to life. They had 170 yards last game. And then when you looked at the defensive side, it was the front. But then the more you watch them, their safeties really hit you and are physical, and they push your, you know, Dre's going to have his hands full because they're going to be real physical with him. And they got some fairly, for our level, tall corners, 5'11", 6-foot corners. You know, a lot of times people at our level have 5'8", 5'9" corners. So very impressive team.
Does it resemble anybody that's supposed to play this year? Can they come close?
I think they're the best team in Division II we've played talent-wise since West Georgia, but they're not the West Georgia's type style. I can't think of anybody that really is their style that we've played. Maybe a cross between the team North Greenville with a running game, and then their passing game's unique. I mean, it's one-on-one routes to that one guy, and then every once in a while they'll go to a real fast little slot guy, a receiver number 27, and who returns their kickoffs, and it's just different. It's kind of different, so I can't really compare them to anybody.
Coach, how do you plan to counter their passing game with a sort of depleted secondary?
Well, we've lost one guy. I mean, you know, and he's a great one, but we've got some great players back there. Jalen Jackson made a great play on the goal line last week, and he's only been there at corner a couple weeks. And Jamal, his brother, is an outstanding player. They both have great speed. Of course, Filbert. I mean, you can't say much about him that hadn't already been said. And then the secondary is they're not going to back down from the guy that's 241 pounds. I promise you. Dorsey weighs that much. He shouldn't back down. But so you know, we'll hopefully those players will play well, and we'll do our job.
You said that it seemed like it was yesterday, talking about the other national championships. Being so close again, is that kind of for you bringing back maybe a couple memories?
Well, I'm more concerned with these guys. I really am. You know, I've had those experiences. When I quit coaching one day, I can look back at 1995 just like it was this year, or 94 or 93. But they can't. They don't have that thing to look back at 20 years from now. So I want them to experience this. So I'm more fired up for them than I am for myself. You know, and I don't say it nonchalant because it's something that you know, I guess I tell these guys all the time. I mean, you know, it's with you the rest of your life. I mean, you tell your grandkids that you're part of a national championship, and even to tell them you played in the game. So, I mean, that's the step right now. Hopefully we're talking about the other step next week. But right now, it's getting to that game. It's something something you remember the rest of your life.
You guys have had, besides West Georgia, the wins have been big wins. Do you think this week it requires a different focus for the team now that you're going up against a team that's going to challenge you guys?
I think this team has done a great job of being, and I've said it all year long, of being consistent. And consistency doesn't look at the scoreboard. Consistency means playing the best you can play on every play, whether you're ahead, behind, whatever it is. And so I don't think we'll focus any different. If we are fortunate enough to get ahead, I think we need to continue to play. They were down 17-0 to Cal Saturday and came back and won the game. The week before that, Cal was 17-0 down to IUP and came back and won the game. So when you get into this deep in the playoff, everybody's good. Everybody's capable of coming back, or everybody's capable of putting you away. And so you got to play every play. And that, you know, that's the same focus we've had all year.
Trey, what would it mean to you to get to the championship game, or do you let yourself think that far ahead?
No, really, I really haven't just thought about it. I've really been focused on getting this next win, and then maybe next week after we get a win, I'll think about it a little more. But right now, I haven't really thought about it for real. Just sitting back and trying to lock in on film and watch and see what they do and seeing how physical they be on the ball and everything like that. But I haven't really thought about the next round for real.
What do you think is going to be the key against their defense? What do y'all need to do?
It's right now. I haven't we've been watching film, but it's just gonna depend on the schemes that we get. If it's gonna be a running game, we just gotta run hard, block. I know the receivers will block outstanding. The line gonna block good. If we gotta pass, and that's something our receivers really like to do. We like to throw the ball around, make plays open space, let Tucker make plays. And if Tucker gotta make plays, we know Tucker can do what Tucker always does.
Of course, you had some great defenses in the 90s, but have you seen a better performance in the playoffs than what you got last week?
I can't remember one. I said it seemed like it just yesterday. I remember the experiences of being there, but I don't really remember playing a game. Pittsburgh State in the championship game comes to mind. Ronald had such a great game, but that defense Saturday was fun to watch. That's one of the better performances in the 40 years of coaching that I've been a part of. And they were. It was like every player, and I don't want to say 11 because we play so many people, but all 11 that were on the field were having their best game and playing as hard as they could possibly play and playing for their lives. And I mean, it was just. I mean, the intensity was unbelievable, and they just performed so great.
BJ, talk about Saturday. I mean, how good did y'all play? Were you surprised?
No, I wasn't surprised. We came out, we practiced all week very hard, and we wanted to come out with a dominant performance. We practiced all week, and it's one of those things we preach every week. This week is like a final, and with that, a final you want to go out and dominate, and that's what we want to do this week.
You feel like the defense has got better week by week?
Week by week, yes, sir. We get better every week. From the guys from the bottom to the top, we all support each other, and we come out and try to play the best game we can.
While we talk about that, I mean, to lose the guys you have, and then show the resiliency you have, plugging new guys in, and the depth you have. We talk about shutting people out in the second half, also that's a real depth. Talk about that.
Well, just having so many athletes. I mean, it's the coaches have done a good job in recruiting. We've been very fortunate with some players to get, and we've been able. I mean, it's usually in Division II, your depth is suspect, but our depth is not because, when we dress out 60 guys during the season, it's 58 now in the playoffs. All 58 of them can contribute. We don't take along people that just are going for the ride. I mean, everybody that's on the bus can contribute and is expected to contribute, and that's unusual for our level. So just speak for the amount of good athletes we have in this program.
You say from Los Angeles, did you ever think you'd be playing in West Virginia?
No, being from Los Angeles, kind of adapt wherever you go. I miss home, but we focus on one thing this year, and that's to win the national championship.
Okay, as a senior, what does this game do you?
It means everything because once you're in the playoffs, you're not guaranteed the next game, and so we play every week that it's like our last game.